Okay, this is a continuation of my last video going over UFC 314 and Ilia Topuria's move up to lightweight. That is a huge announcement, and there was a lot more that Dana announced last night, and a lot more announced today that I'm going to be going over in this video. These matchups are sick, and UFC 315 through 317 are looking amazing. So, we're going to start out with Belal Muhammed versus Jack Della Maddalena. If Dana, I feel like Dana White is reading my mind because Jack Della Maddalena a title shot is the only thing I want at welterweight. And then him versus a fucking Joaquin Buckley or a winner of Joaquin Buckley versus Shafkat. This is perfect for me at welterweight. I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to kill Belal Muhammad in this fight. Jack Della Maddalena is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. His striking is so fun to watch. He's some of the most crisp boxing you'll see. And his comeback against Gilbert Burns made me jump up and down with happiness. I love this guy. I really want him to win, and I'm very glad he has a title shot opportunity against Belal Muhammad, who I hate. This is the matchups I love. When it's one guy I really like versus one guy I really hate. Those are the matchups that give me that rush. And I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to capitalize on this opportunity that Shafkat gave him because he is injured, which Jack is the next step. So, yeah, going into this, Muhammad has the wrestling advantage, and Jack Della Maddalena has had problems with that in the past. Pretty significant problems, to be honest. That makes me a little bit worried. But Jack Della Maddalena's striking is 10 times better than fucking Belal Muhammad's. And in those moments when they're on the feet, and Jack Della Maddalena has good partners in the grappling. I'm pretty sure he trains with Craig Jones and stuff. I'm pretty sure. When he gets up, Jack Della Maddalena will capitalize on those striking moments, and I think he's going to chin Belal Muhammad. He's been chinned before, and I think if anybody's going to do it, it's Jack, who has the crispest strike boxing in welterweight by far. And Belal Muhammad, he lets people up. He's good at grappling. He's dominant, but he lets people up, and he decisions out a lot of people. And when these decisions get really close and he can't keep them down like he wants, these exchanges happen. And he puts a lot of pressure where Leon Edwards will back up and not really engage, while Jack will fucking grit down and just throw with him. And I think in those exchanges, there's a fucking 95% chance Maddalena will get the better of him. And I think it'll lead to a knockout. So I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena by knockout going into this. Super sick for UFC 315. Also on this card is Valentina Shevchenko versus Fiorat. It's cool. It's whatever. We all knew it was going to happen. The winner gets Zhang Weili. That's the cool part. Zhang Weili coming up to fight the winner. That's the cool matchup. So I do hope Shevchenko wins just because Zhang Weili versus Shevchenko is a way more fun matchup. It's pretty much the only fun matchup in the women's divisions right now. You could make it all. So that's Kayla Harrison too. She's interesting. But Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili, it's the fucking fight to make. So I hope she wins, and I think she probably will. Fiorat's actually pretty good, so maybe not. But I'm gonna go Shevchenko to hopefully win. I don't really care who wins though in this matchup. Next, we have this. Leon Edwards was going to fight Jack Della Maddalena, but he got moved up to a title shot. Sorry, Leon. So, Sean Brady is going to get the chance against Leon Edwards. So he's going to be right up there in the rankings as well. Which makes me think, what do you do with Kamaru Usman? Do you give him an Ian Gary? Do you give him I guess a Buckley? But I don't want to see that. I'd rather see Buckley fight Shafkat and then have them fight for the title. Does he fight Brady after? Does he fight an Ian Gary or maybe a Covington rematch? I don't know, but who really cares, actually? I want Usman to retire. So, this matchup. Edwards versus Brady. It's interesting because Edwards isn't a slouch at wrestling. I do think I'm leaning Edwards in this fight, to be honest. I know Brady has really good grappling, but his striking has holes. I feel like this is a really hard one to predict for me because Edwards has good grappling. He has good negative wrestling, so he could defend against Brady well. But I don't think Leon Edwards has been dangerous ever in his career. Besides Headshot Dead, he's a decision fucking merchant. He's more boring This is a hot take I have. He is more or equal to as boring as Belal Muhammad if you don't add in headshot dead. If you delete that, if you delete the fucking second Kamaru Usman fight, he's just as boring as Belal. And that's my opinion. But I feel like that's true. So I might actually go with Sean Brady to win this. I don't trust Leon Edwards' damaging ability in any fight after what he did with Covington, after what he did with Belal, after what he did with Kamaru in the third one. I don't trust him. Diaz rocked him. I don't trust him. I'm never going to trust him again. I take it all back. I'm never going to trust him again in any matchup ever. I'm going to go with Sean Brady to win by grappling him and putting a pressure on him, and Edwards is just going to back up and do nothing. That went from 0 to 100 quick. I went from... I just forgot that I don't respect Leon Edwards' ability at the top level right now at all. So, yeah. I'm going to go Sean Brady to pretty much dominate this fight. I just think Sean Brady's a little bit holy and weird, too, so... That's the only reason I hesitated at all. But yeah, I think Sean Brady's going to win. Sorry about that. Next. Figueiredo versus Sandhagen. So this one is actually... It's not what I expected. I guess it's what you do. But he just lost to Peter Yan, so I didn't expect him to get Sandhagen up the rankings. But they decided to do it. I'm cool with it. I like it. I think Figueiredo versus Sandhagen is a sick style matchup that's going to be interesting. It could end up being boring. I will say that. It probably will end up being boring. They'll probably be really careful with the shots that they take, and grappling wise, I feel like they negate each other well. If anybody's gonna go for the grappling, I think it'll be Figgy. In this matchup, I'm gonna take Figueiredo to win, but Corey could definitely give him troubles in the range department and in the point fight. It'll be a point striking fight, I think. But if anybody's gonna get a cool knockout, I think it'll be Figgy. And Corey Sandhagen isn't a Peter Yan of striking. He pretty much just stays at range, and he doesn't have much power. I'm going to go with Figgy to win this matchup. And I'm going to pick him to win from hitting more powerful strikes that do a little bit more damage. Corey is dynamic, and he's went to battle with these people kind of like Figgy, like Peter Yan and stuff, where it's close, and you don't really know how it's going to... he goes to wars with people. I think Figgy capitalizes in these exchanges where it's up close and tight, when speed is the advantage, or power more so is the advantage. I think Figueiredo is going to be that guy. I think he's going to win this. Just striking, I think the grappling will negate each other. I think Figueiredo will put a power on Sandhagen that will be a little bit too much for the judges, or a little bit, I don't know what I'm fucking saying. It'll be good for the judges to see the power instead of Sandhagen's tit-for-tat bullshit striking. That's what I think is going to happen. And yeah, I think this is a sick style matchup. But it leaves pretty much just Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley rematch to me now. Because the only other option for O'Malley would be Sandhagen to me. So I think they have to do Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley, which is also sweet and would be very interesting. Next. Benoit Saint Denis versus Joel Alvarez. So I'm glad Joel Alvarez is getting in the rankings. This is something I kind of wanted for a while. I think Joel Alvarez, especially in his last two performances, his last couple of freaking performances have been sick to watch. He has super sweet striking. And after what Benoit Saint Denis has been doing, I don't trust him in the rankings at all ever. And I'm going to go Joel Alvarez to win this fight. The way he's been winning all of his fights recently, by just being powerful at range and finding the shot and putting a pressure that you can't really take. He puts a pressure striking wise. He uses his size and his reach, and he pressures forward, and people have to back up, and then he finds his shots really well. And you can't really blitz on him because he'll fucking stop and land on you, and it'll hit hard. And I feel like that's all St. Denis is going to be able to do is bum rush forward. And I think he's going to get caught and dropped and knocked out by Joel Alvarez. And then we can flip-flop him and have the real number 15, the real ranked contender in Joel Alvarez. And we could kick St. Denis out. Because honestly, I don't think he's ready yet. He could win. He could out-grapple Joel Alvarez, who's had problems with that in the past. But I'm going to go Joel Alvarez to knock out Benoit St. Denis. So yeah, next. The final thing. I just thought I'd add this in because it's an announcement. It's an announcement. God damn it. Anthony Smith versus Ming Yang versus Zhang Ming Yang. Okay. I'm going Zhang Mingyang to win this fight. Fucking super powerful light heavyweight, and Anthony Smith is old as shit. I'm pretty sure this is Anthony Smith's last fight, so I don't know why he would do this to himself because Zhang Mingyang is just powerful, and he's gonna just be going for the knockout the whole time. These Asian fighters love to just brawl, and I really like it. My favorite continent of fighter is Asia. I think that they just love to fucking throw hands, and Mingyang Zhang is no exception to that. And I think he's gonna fucking knock out Anthony Smith in this fight. I think that's not a hot take. And if Anthony Smith somehow does win, it'll be a crazy upset. I wonder what the odds are going into this fight. But I'm going Mingyang Zhang to dominate it and knock him out cold. Sadly for Anthony Smith, because I don't actually hate Anthony Smith. I know he's a very hated fighter, but I don't actually hate him. I think he's chill. I think he's cool. I don't hate him. But yeah, I'm going to go with Mingyang Zhang. So yeah, those are the announcements. A lot to think about, and it overloaded my brain a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. It went from 0 to 100 in terms of brain, what's like going into my brain UFC wise. So that's about it. I will see you soon.